there be more light, people.
Let there be more light. So what we wanted to do is for our subscribers, paid subscribers, is to share some practices that we have because, as I shared in the podcast, I wake up with a thought of I don't want to face the day. But then there are things that I do after that that's going to help me to get my frequency right. But why don't we start with your practice that you and Jared did this morning?
Oh, I love that. So, this morning actually was really beautiful. I have to I'm going to brag about my husband for just a minute because
you should brag about your husband. He's amazing.
I said the one thing that I love most about my relationship after 20 years is that I love that both of us have really committed to the energetic practice of our individual joy, right? Like as much as I'm committed to my joy, like watching my husband be in his commitment to his own joy, it really, I think that's what's powerful. And that's why I love you and our friendship, because I surround yourself with people who are committed to being in the practice of their own joy. And so this morning, before kind of the world started moving, my husband and I went out on the deck and we were sitting there and he was telling me how much he really enjoyed yesterday. And I was like, really, what did you enjoy about it? And right now we're remodeling our house. So he's taking the lead on going into all the stores and ordering the things and paying for this. And he's running around, making sure they have that tile and this. It's a lot of work that he's doing. Right. And you can do that work and you could do it like, and pushing through it. And I got to do this and hurry and do that. And there's an order in which, and now it's out of order and you can let things frazzle you. But he really walked me through how he was intentionally pre-paving each of his experiences. And he said that he sat in the car and he would just take some intentional deep breaths in and he just let himself feel good about what he was about to do. And it wasn't like he was doing it. He wasn't getting on stage and talking to a million people. He wasn't going to do a podcast. He was just going to go shopping for some faucets.
Right.
And it's like this is what really stood out for me. And what's really deep about this for me is that he is owning his joy in the mundaneness of life.
Right.
And that's that. It's like you have micro moments to practice joy and practice owning your energetic frequency. It's always available to you, but are you making it a practice?
Right.
Are you stopping intentionally for 20 seconds before you go into the store so that you can align your energy and feel grateful for what you're about to do and feel good about the interactions you're going to have? Because guess what? That's going to impact what happens. Right. And so and to be able to witness someone in their practice. Wow. Yeah. That's the deeper conversation.
Yeah. And awesome. I think it's the awareness, the acknowledgement, but then even to revisit it again the next morning at coffee with you and get even more goodness out of the practice that he did the day before. It's just like,
you're just squeezing. And
if there's anyone that you want to be sharing a fun practice like that with, it's you, because then when we share it with you, you're just like, it's good.
I certainly
and then
feel
it's it. We're just doubling down on the joy.
Yeah. And and what a gift that's always available to us. But so many of us just kind of go through experiences unintentionally. Jim, my father-in-law who just passed, he kind of taught me something like context, right? Context is the energy that's living around you at all times. And what's amazing about context is whether you define your context or not, a context is always being created.
Right.
And so it's like what Jim would say is define the context. What do you want to think? What do you want to feel? What do you want to generate? Where do you want to go? Like, what do I want this moment to feel like? What do I want to look like when I walk out of this moment? Like it's that forward focused owning of the energy that has such a dramatic impact on what actually happens in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. So my practice in the morning, and this is what I do every morning, and it's a little science based because I was listening to, this is ages ago, listening to a Andrew Huberman podcast, and he's a neuroscientist, I think, from Stanford University. And he's saying that, and this is especially to help you with your sleep hygiene. But your sleep hygiene starts from when you wake up in the morning. And he said it's important that when you wake up, that what you don't reach for your phone, that you actually, wake up. I let natural sunlight in straight away. So you need to get natural sunlight onto your eyes. But you also, as soon as you can, want to be walking or in a movement where, things are moving past you, because it does something to your brain when you do that. So I'm really, really, really lucky and grateful that I have a little bliss hound, Bella. So even if I'm waking up thinking, I don't know what I'm supposed to say, she'll wake up and she's got all this bed hair. So she's just hilarious. And then she commando crawls up the bed and then she wants to snuggle and get in there. So instantly I'm like, okay, I'm smiling. I got a smile on my face. I'm feeling great. I got the light. And then I'll take her out for a walk in the mornings. And
I love that she's your bliss hound.
Yeah. Well, Bert calls her a bliss hound because she's just so like happy and blissed out all the time, especially when she wakes up. But then when I'm walking in the morning and getting the sun on my eyes and sun on my skin, I'm walking slowly, I'm walking intentionally, I'm walking mindfully. I'm looking around me, I'm appreciating, because I was at walking around Bert's garden. So there's two things going on there. Number one, I have to be alert because, there could be coyotes or bobcats or anything that want to eat Bella. So I have to keep in mind out for that. But
that would affect the bliss hound.
Yeah, but of course, he's got beautiful roses that are blooming right now, and the smell of the grass, and there's always a little bunny rabbit or a little lizard or something running.
Oh my gosh, that's lovely.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You put your finger out and go, and a bird
I know. Sometimes driving up the driveways, like going to Snow White's house with all the little animals and the birds, and there's quails and there's a whole bunch of stuff up there. So that is my practice. I want to make sure that I'm in a mood, like I'm focusing on my state. And what was really helpful is that, Susan sent me a song not long ago, and I've started a playlist on Spotify that I call the Joy playlist. And this song is by Millionaire Muses, which we realize today is AI generated, but it doesn't matter. And this is called Morning Magic. And there is a line in here. It says, I don't check my phone, I check my soul. I don't scroll, I take control. I speak to myself with love and grace, and morning magic sets the pace. So listening to this song and going, I
take control.
It helps to really change your state. So that's and I think that we can talk about and I for most of you, meditation is really important. It makes a big difference. Breathing, doing some, breathing in for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 8. Really important, especially for regulating your nervous system. Going for a walk, playing music. We can, most of these tools. And as we said in the podcast, like when you're in that low place, sometimes you don't want to do any of those things. And then every once in a while you'll go, I could maybe do that one. I can muster enough energy to do one of those. But whatever you do, grace, it has to come first.
Yeah.
You have to give yourself grace, because if there's a day where you don't want to do any of the things on the list that are going to help you, that's okay.
That's okay. You can have this space. Yeah, but this moment is temporary. Like we talked about, this moment is temporary, right? Because I want to be in the committed practice of joyfully loving my life. That are you loving your life? All right, and then the next step is, are you joyfully loving your life? And I think part of what I think gets lost in that is play. And I think as adults we kind of forget what play is. And so I'm going to just kind of introduce what I had an awareness about play. This is another practice that my husband and I do, is once a month, the first Wednesday of every month, we do what we call our Universal Managers meeting, where we go to breakfast at some place we've never been. We try to make it somewhere new. And we go to a table that has 4 chairs. And we invite our universal managers to come sit with us.
Yeah.
And we sit at a table together, and it's Jared, me, his universal manager, which is just God energy, whatever it is that you believe, right? It's just acknowledging the energetic forces that are around you. And we're just putting them in the chairs next to us, and my universal manager. And we sit at the table and we just give ourselves permission to do 2 things. What are we grateful for, and what are we excited about?
Right.
And the other can't interject while the other's talking. So it's like we give each other just a little platform to say, these are the things that I'm just really, this has been exciting. I'm grateful for all of this has happened, this and this and this, and this is what I want.
Yeah.
And I can say anything that I want, and it can be the most outlandish thing. It could be something that's totally not practical, but he's just witnessing me say that.
Yeah.
And then I give him the floor. We actually record this, and then we take a picture after. And we've been doing this for now 13 years. So we have 13 years of photos and recorded affirmations from both of us that has happened once a month. And what I realized is that, like, we go to dinner and lunch all the time, but this one lunch once a month brings so much joy into our relationship.
Yeah.
Because all we're simply doing is witnessing the other person's process. Just kind of like what was happening for coffee, but in kind of a structured way. And so this monthly breakfast has turned into such a source of joy in our marriage. And I think it's also really playful. It's spiritually playful. It's energetically playful, because all you're doing is just witnessing. And you're not allowed to say, oh, that's not practical. How are you going to do that? That's not realistic. Because so many adults get to a point where it's like, yeah, well, that's not realistic. Balloon pop, 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 pop.
Yeah,
pop.
but you and I and Jared all know that the how is not up to us. It's not our job. It's not our responsibility.
No.
Our job is just to dream big, focus on that, feel ourselves, feel as if we already have it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm going to tell you something. This is truth, Nat. Your jaw will drop when I say this. I'm not good at it.
Right.
Honestly, I'm my temperament is I'm really happy in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
My growing edge is to give myself permission to have more of a vision about the future. Yeah. Jared is a big thinker. Like, boy, I'll never forget when we were sitting in our backyard in LA, and he looked at me and he goes, I want to live in Mexico, and I want a pool in the jungle. And I was just like,
who are you?
And I didn't say anything, but inside I was like, but like he was the one that had the vision for moving out of the country and having a different life. And and the only thing that I didn't do was say, how are we going to do that?
Right.
It wasn't met with cynicism, but he is the vision. I have to work on this. And it's what I want to continue to work on. I want to continue to dream bigger and envision my future bigger, because that's my work.
Yeah.
That's my work. Some people are really good at it, but they get all jammed up in the moment.
Yeah.
Right. So wherever your work is, keep doing the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining us this week. I hope that you've enjoyed a couple of these. Are some really, deeper practices, and a practice is not something you do once. Or, every once in a while. It's something that you want to be committed to. And there are those practices that you guys do once a month, and there's other practices that we really want to do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Because regardless of where we are, going for a walk, getting in the sun, playing with the dog, these are things that if you make them an automatic part of your day, you don't even have to think about it. And what you're already doing unconsciously is setting yourself up for success.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And those practices are with yourself, and those practices are with the relationships with the people that are in your life.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to practice joy with the people in your life. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, your energy, your life, and for your subscription. Thank you for being a subscriber. We appreciate you being a part of this community. Hopefully you got a little bit of a jolt today. All right. Have a good one.
See you next week.